Welcome back to Table Talk. We are back with country rap artist Big Smo. That is. We are really getting deep here, but we're going to talk a little bit more so about your personal life.
Okay.
I know that you're a really big believer in giving back, and one of the receivers of you giving back so much is Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
Absolutely.
Tell us what your experience or how you became so familiar with Vanderbilt.
Well, my youngest daughter, who is about to turn 15, when she was born slightly premature, undeveloped lungs in Rutherford County at the Murfreesboro Medical Center. And she was, incubator type thing, for a couple of weeks. And then it got to a point to where they had to rush her to Vanderbilt. And the what's that, Angel? The Angel Truck.
Yes.
So excited about it. It was a horrible night, very stormy, foggy, and I had to follow this Angel Truck to Vanderbilt. I remember with my daughter in the back, and just being
Probably just
very
praying
scared
the whole way.
Very scared,
Yes.
but very thankful for where we were going, And when we got to Vanderbilt, they took such good care of us. They took such good care of her. She had a remarkable turnaround. So my personal relationship with Vanderbilt is I just feel like I owe them everything. My youngest daughter is my entire world. And just to know that they helped her survive.
And to have such a facility so close to us is
Yeah.
such a blessing.
I mean, it's just an amazing hospital, and I've been there several times to visit with children there. And of course, we did this last year, and we had a great response. We were able to raise over $10,000 for the hospital, and of course, this year we're aiming higher.
Yeah.
So we're doing the Kinfolk in the Cave show again this year, and that's at Cumberland Caverns here in McMinnville, which I grew up in that cave as a Boy Scout.
Okay.
We would go 2 times a year and stay the night in the cave.
Do the wild side.
Do the Bubblegum Alley
Yes.
and Fat Man Squeeze, which at a young age I had a hard time getting through. So to be able to go back to that cave that I spent so much time in the Boy Scouts, growing up in that cave, and sitting in that huge hall with the chandelier and eating my breakfast in there, and I'm thinking, this is the coolest place ever. Now to go back as an adult and do a concert there.
Be on that stage
For
now.
kids.
Yes.
And for Vanderbilt, it's just amazing to be able to do that and to do it again, second year. And of course, it's growing, it's getting bigger. Last year it was Hayden Carpenter and myself. This year we have 4 opening acts, all younger people that are artists that I'm developing with my record label. So we have 2 young girls that are going to be performing. They're singer-songwriters. And then we have 2 younger gentlemen that are going to be performing. So I think it'll be good for the kids to see other kids doing what they're
What
doing.
they
and
may
just
aspire
to know,
to. Yes.
just to know that if you want to be something, just do it.
Just work at it.
I'm proof of if you want to be something. Like at 10 years old, like you say, you saw the video of me, I knew what I wanted to be. I worked at it, and here we are, 32 years later, and I'm doing it, and I'm loving my life, and I'm being able to impact a lot of people's lives, and it's just it's God's ultimate gift. It really is.
And you said the concert's April 21st, I believe.
April the 21st.
Right.
Yes.
So tickets are available, I'm sure,
Everywhere.
off your website and locally probably
Yes.
on Cumberland Caverns website, I'm sure. And as we said, all the proceeds or the profit from it goes to Vanderbilt
Goes to
Children's.
Vanderbilt, yes.
And the goal, I think, this year was at least $20,000.
20,000.
So
Help us hit 20,000. That's what we want. We're going to do it next year, and every year we just want to add another 10,000.
awesome.
And going back to the Special Reserve album, and just to let you know something else that I'm doing for Vanderbilt, there's a song on that album that's called "The Message," and it's a social media conversation between me and a young boy who had cancer, and he wasn't from the country. Just one of his friends turned him on to my music. He fell in love with it. He listened to it when he was going to chemo treatments and all this, and it was just a conversation between me and this young boy that happened a few times through social media, and it was enough that that conversation, I went back and turned it into a song.
Right.
And with that song, all the proceeds from that song are going to the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital Oncology Department.
Another way of giving back.
Just another way, you know what I'm saying? And
right. And the proof of, I guess, the inspiration that your fans
have
give
on
to
me.
you.
I mean,
yes.
you know, if you're talking to an 11-year-old boy that's fighting for his life, and his weapons are your music, if that doesn't,
yeah, puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I read an interesting name talking about your fans. We've referred to them several times. Tell us what you call your fans and what they mean to you.
Those are my kinfolk. And, you know, much like Southern slang, kinfolk is your family. And the relationship that I have with my fans is not a artist-fan relationship. We don't have that barrier that separates us as different types of people. We're the same. And our relationship is that much of friend and family, more so than artist and fan. So whenever I was really trying to, and I'll tell you where I learned this from. I was out on tour with a group called the Insane Clown Posse.
Heard of them. They're a wild bunch.
Wild bunch. Genius people, though. Very smart business people. They had given their fans a name. They called them juggalos. Juggalos and juggalettes. And I said, no, that's genius. All you have to do is want to be a part of something, and you just say, I'm a juggalo.
And then everybody knows what you're talking about.
You know what you're talking about. So me and a friend of mine who I was working with at the time, we were kicking around some ideas, and we both agreed that kinfolk was like one of the strongest Southern slang terms for what I was trying to say. And it just, it stuck. And it's makes perfect sense.
It does, because when you say, hey, that's my kinfolk, there's a special bond there.
And it all goes back to, you know, our relationship. They fuel my creativity creates the music. I share the music with them, they share the feedback with me, and the circle carries on, you know.
Just continual inspiration, and you're getting your juice to keep going. When you have hard times, you get your fuel from them too.
I tell you what, you have to make sure that you keep people in your life that are going to fuel your fire. You know, you don't want anybody that's trying to douse your flames. My kinfolk are the fuel for the fire that keeps this alive. So they're everything to me.
Well, you've been going in my research since about, well, you know, we talked that you had started at a young age, but officially since about 1999, I think your website said. So that's a lot of years, and you got to keep motivated. So that's a long time for them to keep you going.
Yeah, I'm very blessed to do what I do. You know, I'm blessed to be alive. So you just have to take those blessings and you know, don't take them for granted.
So let's talk about YouTube. I think that must have been a big jumping start for you. I watched the video Kicking It in Tennessee, which is so much fun. Had probably a lot of your kinfolk in it. Was that just kind of you grabbing a camera and kind of going with it, or?
Yeah, we had a party in the backyard, and I invited a bunch of my friends over. I said, hey, we're gonna grill some food out, we're gonna have some drinks, probably gonna light a fire. And I had a buddy over that had never used a video camera before, and I said, listen, just hold the camera, and when I move, you move with me. And just follow me. Just keep me in frame. And he was like, okay, I can do this. And so I just had this guy who had never filmed anything before hold a camera. And
well, he did a pretty good job.
He did a great job. And I'm a big video editing person. I love to edit video. It's kind of one of my hobbies. So I did a lot of my own music videos in the beginning, and that was one that I did myself, and it was just a lot of fun. And you know, there's some shock value, right in the middle of the video.
I might have seen that. I watched the whole thing.
When I cut the chicken's head off.
Oh, yep, I did remember that.
Okay, so there was a big controversial thing about that.
I could see that.
But here's the thing, and I want people to know this. I don't just go around cutting the heads off of chickens. That was from an instructional video that I created that was called How to Kill a Chicken. Because some people had come to me from in the city and they were like, well, how do you get your chickens? Do you kill them? And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll show you. And we had chickens, and this was what you did.
And this is rural America.
If you wanted a chicken, and it's not like I killed the chicken and kicked it in the ditch.
No, you prepared it.
In the instructional video, I did kill a chicken, cleaned it, prepared it, cooked it, and I ate it all on film. But I think that it got shut down off of YouTube for shock value. So what I did is I took that one little moment and I slid it right in the video. And I mean, that's probably what got the attention of Warner Brothers. Whenever I first signed my record deal, that was the only thing they wanted to talk about. Did you really kill that chicken? And
wow.
I'm like, I should have killed chickens a long time ago. I could have been in here with this record deal thing. But no, it was first kind of music videos that we shot were very grassroots, do it yourself, and but it doesn't matter. 16 million views later.
That's right.
Who cares?
Well, and it was still very well done. And then as I progressed through your videos, it was like I could tell, you've really progressed in all of the technical things that you're putting into your videos, and then personal growth. Let's talk about that. That was a big part of what I read about you, is that you want to feel like you've grown personally, not just as an artist, but talk about that a little bit.
Well, the thing about being an artist is that people get used to seeing you for your art, and if you go back to like Kicking It in Tennessee and some of the earlier songs that really took off, people expect you to stay that person. And, I've got, since then to now, I mean, my daughters are grown up, graduated high school, one's in college,
Yeah.
I've been through 2 divorces since then. Like,
life's changed.
I've run my own corporation, and I have a handful of employees that I have to take care of. Like, you evolve as a person, I hope. If you don't, then something is terribly wrong. You evolve as a person, and if you're an artist, then your art evolves with you. So you should see growth, visually and sonically in the music. Like, I would hope that people would expect that, but you would be surprised. Some people want you to just stay the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like they get used to that, and that's what they want every time. So
I read an interesting, now that you say that, I'm a big fan of Hall & Oates, and John Oates was talking about that they wanted to keep them in that 70s pop thing, but every album they wanted to step out of that. And the Beatles and, everything.
Everybody wants to do that. No one wants to continue. I mean, people need to evolve. They need to grow. And if anything, as a fan of an artist and their art, you should support that growth. You just have to understand that that even as a listener, I would expect my listeners to grow. Like, I want you to grow with me.
Right.
Like, expect more from me. Challenge me. You know what I'm saying? Don't just ask me to keep doing the same old beer mud truck song. You know what I'm saying? I can only do it 4 or 5 times before I'm like, okay, I can't do this
Okay, got to
anymore.
move on.
But there's a lot more that's happening in my life today than there was 10 years ago. So my number one rule of writing music is, if I don't live it, then I don't write it. And you have to live a lot in order to write a little. You really do have to live a whole lot. Even if it's just living inside your head, you have to have a lot of adventures go on before you can really write something adventurous or entertaining. So
Explore every opportunity.
I don't want to close a door on anything. I love all genres of music. I want to see all genres of music exist in my music. I like jazz and funk and classic rock and pop and country and rap. You know, there's.
You can tell all of that when you listen to your music. You really can.
I love all of it. You know, so I don't want to just pigeonhole my music to just be one genre. And during We the People, this was a big campaign of mine where I had a lot of police tape created that said, "Don't genrelize me." And I went around Nashville wrapping this police tape around everything. I had my name on it. It said SMO, "Don't genrelize me." Red carpet at the CMA Fest. I let a whole roll of it roll down the red carpet. I'm trying to say something here, like you're just not listening. Stop putting us in a box. We don't want to live there.
Do you ever anticipate being accepted into like having a category for country rap or maybe progressive country at the awards, on the awards level?
If somebody can figure out a way for them to make enough money off of it, then yeah,
Okay.
we'll get credit someday. But it's only going to be
when the money is there.
It's only going to be if somebody can find a way to capitalize financially off of it. Unfortunately,
well, that's life.
That's life.
That's the business industry
but
anyway.
you know, I really don't need validation from anyone to tell me that we make good music for good people. I've got good people that tell me that every day. So keep your award. Keep your, you know, your whatever. We really don't need it. And it's not that we're asking to be accepted. You know, I just want to be heard. And while we still have a chance to listen, you know.
Well, I appreciate you so much. What a great way to end our show. Instead of a country music rapper, I'm going to pigeonhole you into like prolific thinker or something like that. You're as I commented, you're a deep well. Thank you so much for joining today's show. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Big Smo. Come back next week for more Table Talk. On behalf of myself and Brian Kell, have a wonderful week.